Hello, universe. Sun in Taurus, Mercury, Gemini. This is by far one of the most charming, artistically gifted, in terms of music, in terms of poetry. There's an artistry to them that infuses their every action, their every word, their every breath. There's a stability that's truly refreshing. Mercury in Gemini is one of the most scattered energies that are out there. And I know I have this energy. I'm also a Gemini. And to know somebody who has the quick-wittedness, the facility with language, the ability to really communicate with people and to understand concepts that Mercury and Gemini allows, while still having that stability, that pragmatic, earthy, just they are. Taurus is known as fixed earth. It is the essence of earth, and Gemini energy is mutable air, and so mutable is the most far-reaching, the most scattered, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's worse. It's just in general, mutable energy isn't very able to focus. With this combination, you have a very powerful combination of intellectual, cognitive abilities, and that just raw earth energy. The fixed energy is so focused so as to be stubborn. And indeed, that's what gives this energy combo its greatest gifts and its greatest challenges. As I say in all videos, we all have fantastic gifts, and we also have challenges that we need to overcome. So we've talked about a bit of the good stuff. Finishing on that thought, being able to follow through on your ideas, your thoughts, your plans, what you say to people is one of the best gifts with this combination. And it's very want of Mercury and Gemini. It's very customary that we speak quickly, we think quickly, and we commit quickly to things that we might not be able to follow through on. And having Sun in Taurus allows this individual, whether it's you or somebody you know, to be able to truly follow through on their words. Now, let's talk about some of the challenges. Out of the three combinations of Sun and Mercury, this is the most likely to use that gift, that Mercury and Gemini gift, to communicate for selfish reasons, and or to utilize that charm not for the sake of truth, of air ideals of freedom and justice, truth also included, and honesty, to utilize that charm for selfish means. Now, this isn't always conscious, so it's important to recognize that just because an individual with this energy combination is being selfish, is being self-centered, is utilizing their mind for the sake of their body, for their sensual pleasures, which is a very earth thing in general, and especially Taurus thing to do. It can be very unquestioned, some of the habits that this individual would have. And it's just a question of, no, I need to have this much money. It doesn't matter that it's an exorbitant sum, or it doesn't matter that I'm only thinking of myself in this regard. I need it. I'm a Taurus. I must. There's a challenge here. For every Taurus, there's that challenge to own the body and not let the body and its needs, desires, etc. own them. And having Mercury in Gemini, one can be as intelligent and witty and clever and wise in so many ways. There can be a slavish mentality as per the body. And that's when that mind's abilities really starts to karmically negatively impact the self and others, because we all are subject to universal law, and when we're selfish, even if it doesn't come around right away, it will come around, and we will push away those that are good for us in our lives. We'll push away those that uplift us and encourage us and don't just feed into our negative manifestations. We all have the ability to manifest negatively, and we've all done it at some point. It's a matter of learning and overcoming this. So the beautiful thing is this: if you as an individual with this energy combination, or somebody you know, is being selfish, is being greedy. That's another common lower manifestation. You can learn, no matter what your Mercury energy is, you can learn. What's beautiful is Mercury and Gemini, as much as it can lead to unraveling things so quickly and saying things that you later regret so quickly and doing things even that you later regret so quickly, you can learn just as quickly. And so if you find yourself in a rut, if you find yourself confused, alone, isolated, alienated because of what you've said, done, etc., thought, you can learn. And you always have that potential to get out of that rut. This is one of the biggest challenges for this energy combination, is to be thinking in circles with Mercury and Gemini, to think that your mode of thinking, being, of doing is logical, and thus justifying it to yourself, no matter what consequence occurs. This is one of the biggest challenges, because you can find yourself doing, again, saying or thinking, doing things that you later truly regret, and that you recognize have a negative cause, a negative effect rather, because of that negative cause, selfishness or stubbornness to the point of being intolerable, etc. It's doubly hard because Sun and Taurus can be so stubborn and can get caught in a rut. Like all earth signs, that is one of the biggest challenges, is stagnating, is just doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And again, especially in service to the body and its desires. And this energy combination, both earth and air energy, is logical. Now, they're logical in different ways. Air energy, especially Mercury and air, and especially Mercury and Gemini, thinks logically in an abstract sense. That doesn't necessarily mean, and again, speaking from personal experience, it doesn't necessarily mean that the thought process makes sense and is rational. It's not to mean that at all. Nobody has a monopoly on the truth and a monopoly on always being right. We're always, all of us are wrong at some point. That just happens, and it's important to learn. So we have this branch of logic, and then we also have the earth logic, which is practical, pragmatic, deals with the body, deals with the senses, the material realm, that which you can feel, that which you can smell, taste, etc. When both of these senses of logic are at their best, that's when you have the grand poets, the grand artists, especially musicians, especially, I mean, any kind of art really, especially, I could say especially for each branch of art, sculpture and visual art, that which you utilize your hands and the mind to craft your inner vision out in the world. Music, so you can utilize your air understanding of patterns and of harmonies and dissonances to craft something of beautiful content, aesthetically pleasing, and thus pleasing the Taurian side of you as well. Acting, utilizing your Taurus, and very often Taurians are wonderfully, even if they are not conventionally handsome or beautiful, they are pleasing to look at. They're calm, and in that sense they are absolutely beautiful. And it's important, I'd like to note, especially if you are this individual with this combo, that everybody's beautiful, and it's important to recognize the beauty in everyone and everything. That's a big challenge for these energies that can get so caught up in this. But when you adopt this mindset and really foster that perspective in everyday life, you see dimensions of beauty that you never saw before, both in yourself and others. So that's a quick side note. But when your mind's logic, your ability to abstract, see patterns, etc., is working in tandem with your practical ability, your practical logic, your common sense, and when both of these are in service of your higher self, uplifting yourself, encouraging yourself, empowering yourself, and doing this for others as well. Not just thinking of your own desires and needs, and not getting stuck in that rut of, well, I satisfied my own needs. It doesn't really matter what anybody else is going through, let alone the vast inequalities that are going on in our world. I haven't taken care of. I don't care. That is one of the worst mindsets, definitely the lower level manifestation of this. And it's not inevitable. If you foster this awareness, if you seek to make use of your Taurian natural affection and love, and something that's really important to note is Taurus is ruled by Venus. It's said to be ruled by Venus, but it's also ruled by the Earth. By many astrologers say that, and I completely empathize with that. That resonates with me deeply. It is fixed Earth energy. It is the essence of Earth, and so that means there's a natural connection between Taurians and nature, Taurians and the endless abundance of nature. Of course, nature that's taken care of. Taurians can so very often feel the pain of pollution and how we're destroying our planet. And one of the beautiful things is, again, quick side note, I know you can keep up with me though with the Mercury and Gemini connection, is you can utilize that Taurian care and sense with your Mercury and Gemini ability to think, to plan, to organize, to communicate to others, to be a part of environmental upholding and respect. And as I was saying before, by extension, because we are all nature, no matter how airy we may be and the mental realm of things, or emotional we may be in the water realm of things, and the realm of feeling or fire energy, which is also emotional but in a different way and more bubbly and enthusiastic and whatnot. We are all human beings. We all have a body. We are all going to, we go through the cycle of birth, life, feeding ourselves, all the fun liquids and solids that come in and out of us, and death. It's a part of who we are. And we're all a part of nature. Inextricably so. We've gotten to this place in human history that we have, through the Industrial Revolution and whatnot, through the last couple hundred years, we've progressed wonderfully, technologically. But when it comes to our connection with nature, we've lost sight of what the Native Americans and so many other other civilizations have known, which is we are nature and we must respect nature and be one with it, one with the seasons and the cycles, and not try and control or conquer nature. We must be one with it. And so that's really important in your everyday life to recognize, is that no matter how frustrating another human being may be, they have a right to be here. And it's not, even though you spot how they're wrong and the inconsistencies in their logic, and you may be deeply frustrated at how what they're doing conflicts with your inner sense of values and conflicts with what you feel life on Earth should be like, to recognize that that is their way, they'll figure it out, or not, it doesn't matter ultimately. It's more important that you figure out that you build your own mountain, and that you do your best to help others, but ultimately let nature take care of itself. And an addendum to that, you are an aspect of nature. And so while it's important to not try and force your ideas onto others, to not let the stubbornness of Taurus and the partner sign for Taurus is Scorpio, and I think that helps to understand the kind of passion that Taurians have. Taurians are very calm, very collected, very cool. But if they feel threatened, if their stability feels threatened in any way, shape, or form, they can turn into raging bulls. And it's really important to utilize that power for good and to not just lash out at others wantonly, as Mercury and Gemini, when faced with logical inconsistencies on the part of others, can want to do. So build your mountain, help others, recognize that it is a duty. You are a part of nature, and you're a solid, stable human being, full of love and affection and tolerance, and you really care for other people, and you really want what's best for them. Be in tune with that power, but don't let it own you. At that point, it is important to recognize the limits of your empire, if you will. As Gandhi said, the world is enough for every person's greed. Excuse me, that's wrong. The world is enough for every person's need and not every person's greed. And at the lower level manifestations of your Sun and Mercury combination, that little snafu, the greed part, that can be your motto, and that degrades you. That won't give you the fulfillment, the love, the stability that you truly seek. You may think that stability is in having X amount of dollars and having X square foot of a house or a mansion even, and having this kind of status in society, etc. That's ultimately not fulfilling, though. Not like human love and love of creatures in general, love of animals. And to deserve that love, you have to respect others, you have to care for them, and you have to do your part in the world to make it a better place. And again, don't go spectacularly out of your way, because Taurians are better when they're fixed and they're focused. So focus on your art or business, whatever it is that really allows you to express that love and to be there with a couple other people and to make a huge difference in this world, you know? And by huge, I don't mean bombastically, magnanimously huge necessarily. It can be, absolutely. Taurians can absolutely embody that kind of change on a social level, especially with this Mercury energy. But recognize that every little action has ripples, and that one hug, not to get too focused on the sexual element of this, because I'm referring to platonic love more than anything, but still, one kiss, one act of just being a reliable friend or colleague or family member, that is utilizing your love in this world, and you are making a huge difference in that way. In those people's lives, you are changing their lives for the better like never before. And that has extensions. We all ripple and impact each other. So do your part and focus on your part. Don't get distracted. That's one of the challenges with this energy combo is to, again, this comes back to the body, to torture yourself with that Mercury energy in Gemini, to think there's something better, there's something else out there, to never commit and to never recognize an amazing situation when it's there for you, because you're thinking potentially there's somewhere else I need to be. That's a challenge for all of us Mercury and Gemini energy people, but having Sun in Taurus can really, again, this is the biggest challenge I find, really subvert the mind to the body's desires. And focusing the mind on the body's needs is one of the great gifts for this energy combo. And when your mind, as I said before, your mind and your body are working as one, you're unstoppable. And when you're doing it for the sake of the collective, the good of not only yourself but others as well, you have nothing but good karma coming to you, and life will be endlessly, exponentially better as per your love, both in and around you, and the quality of thinking, the positivity, the ability to spot opportunities, to think up opportunities, and to just be on absolutely cloud nine when it comes to what you're thinking about. So don't let your mind torture you. Don't think that there's something else better out there all the time. You know, sometimes that's true, and it's important to go with that feeling, as I said, to not get caught in the rut. But when you're endlessly dissatisfied because you think that there's something else, you see, and this is a challenge for us Mercury and Gemini energy people, you see the surface of something, you think, that's it, that's what I want. Now sometimes you're right, and it's important to really reflect on that and to not make snap decisions, but still to honor that, like, yes, got it, I understand. But when you compulsively have that wandering eye, you're going to just be torturing yourself, and you're going to not be giving your all as you could be and should be to those around you and to the projects at hand. Do your best with where you're at. Always be open to new ideas, new opinions, new perspectives. Don't wed yourself to your own. Don't get stubborn when it comes to how you think others should live, how you think you should live. Hold true to your values, but give yourself some flexibility. Allow yourself to grow. Take your time. Of all the Mercury energies, this is it takes time to develop those thoughts into practical reality. But what's beautiful is, out of all the Mercury-Sun combinations, and just a quick note, Sun in Taurus, Mercury in Gemini, Sun in Gemini, Mercury in Gemini, Sun in Cancer, Mercury in Gemini, of those three combos, you have the ability to follow through on your ideas, like the other two, myself included, don't have. And so whether it's the brilliant album, or the brilliant painting, or the brilliant business plan, whatever, You have the ability to follow through and to be there and to do like no other sun sign Mercury combination can. So embrace your logic. Don't get caught up in it. Express your love. Dare to speak your love. And dare to also not try and own others through your words, through your charm, or through your sensual gifts. You are nature's most verbal, most communicative steward. Honor that. And remember, nature just isn't just flora and fauna. It's human beings as well. We're part of that fauna, the animals of this world. Recognize that in yourself, recognize it in others, and respect that. Namaste.